like in half, fire going on.
In like half an hour into the session, we will probably have started screaming.
Yeah, probably.
PATHCO.
Anyway, hello adventurers, and welcome to PATHCO session, 42, let's say. I don't fucking know. Anyway, maybe it's 40, who knows?
No, we're just...
I'll fix the thing for it later.
Yeah, they're all broken.
Can someone please fix that? It's really ruining my immersion.
What's happening?
That's what I like. Immersion.
I don't know what episode we're on.
Just get on with it, come on.
We're in a timeless void. Anyway, following the successful completion of the invitational tournament at the Scumport Arena, in which the party assisted their new friend Seth, who Sigmund totally doesn't have like a blood oath of vengeance against or whatever, the party have succeeded in earning enough money to allow Dave's aunt Tilda, noted adventurer, to purchase a new exploratory vessel, and finally accomplish her original quest of traveling to a oddly storm-ridden tropical island, several days' travel across the sea to the south of Scumport. There she has been instructed to salvage a local artifact from the very center of the island in some ruins. We join the party aboard the deck of the Fireball. It has been about half a day into their travel, and they are settling in. So, does anyone just want to run through what they grabbed prior to leaving Scumport? I'm assuming it's probably about 2 days since you guys finished the arena.
Well, she said that would be a week. Tilda said it'd be a week until we left.
It's a week then, I don't know. I'm very inconsistent. Yes, so the Fireball is a roughly 25 by 70 foot exploratory vessel. It has 4 cannons, roughly 20 crew and you guys, 2 sails, and a decent amount of stabling and sort of hold space, and a decent enough of fairly cramped sort of galley. You each are sharing a like a guest cabin each. There's 2 of them in the captain's cabin, so naturally Sigmund and Dave are sharing, and Glanvar and Apollyon. So, what are you guys up to aboard ship right now? Let's start with Apollyon.
Well, holy shit. Who in the name of God invented a portable altar? Wow. Anyway, so
to be fair, some things need an altar.
This is true.
Like revive spells or whatever, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. All right. So what I'm doing.
What did you pick up on the way here?
I'm
sorry. What was the question?
You said going into what people picked up on the way here as well.
Yeah, that was what I was about to do before I was rudely interrupted.
My apologies there, monsieur. My apologies. Please continue.
More salted in the ocean we're now sailing in.
Yeah, anyway, so so Apollyon's basically just hanging around the ship, checking that he's brought everything he needed to bring. What I've bought is 2 ropes of 50 feet each, so there's like 2 long ropes, a fishing net, an air bladder. I've got the collapsible bathtub, of course.
Vital essential.
Yes. And other than that, I've just got a lot of random tat from the past adventures.
Well, that's all you need.
That is all I need.
So what are you actually up to? Just checking everything's stashed? You've not forgotten anything?
Yeah, just
Did you bring Freddie Mercury the horse with you?
No, I didn't bring, No, actually, yeah. You know what? I brought Freddie Mercury the horse. He's on the ship. He's with us.
He is stable in the sort of... like in the hold. The hold is mostly sort of empty except for some ballast and, food supplies and stuff. So he's in there looking rather bored.
Yeah. That's
So, is there
okay.
anything you'd like to do on ship? Currently within sight is Tilda, who is currently steering the ship.
Uh-huh.
There is Ricard nearby, who is the first mate. You've been vaguely introduced to him. He's a native Scumportian, as they are so often known. And he is an elven gentleman.
Alright.
And you're also aware that there's a couple of other various crew members. You notice that there's a young bard and someone in sort of the vestments of a priest chatting, leaning against one of the railings. And there's a fair amount of just crewmen bustling around, adjusting the rigging, clambering up to and from the crow's nest, and the like. You know, it's a fairly populous ship.
Is
Alright.
that also Tilda's dog, the Newfoundland?
Tilda's Newfoundland is currently asleep at the stove in her cabin.
Okay.
So it is just visible through the open door of the cabin. Riker is, of course, also there. So it's just a big, like, 6-foot tall pile of dog.
Dog, that sounds amazing.
Nice.
So yes, what are you up to, Apollyon?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a look.
Does he have his sea legs yet?
Roll a dexterity save.
God damn
Or
it.
constitution to not be sick?
Bastards. Alright, dex save, huh? Here
Yeah.
it goes. Slash roll 1d20 plus 1. 6. Great!
Convenient.
Stop!
So, anything dexterous for the while you're on the ship, you take a -1 to that. So,
How
clambering
fun!
around, you know. So just keep that in mind. What are you up to?
Evidently.
I think that I'm going to look around the ship and see if there's like a captain that I can speak to, or like a navigator.
Tilda.
Yeah.
Tilda is the captain, and the first mate sort of fulfills the navigator role.
Alright, so who is the first mate again?
His name is Ricard. He's a sort of dark-skinned, quite tall, quite broad-chested for an elf man. And he's currently pulled up like a sort of lectern, like a easily transportable desk, and that's next to the ship's wheel, and him and Tilda are sort of deep in conversation. Tilda on like a bar stool to support
Alright.
herself while she steers.
But they're talking though, so...
They're in conversation, but it doesn't appear to be like deep conversation. It's like they're chatting.
Alright.
They're fairly
So
well
basically
known.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a chair and say, fellow elf, what's the destination that we're headed to exactly?
Ricard sort of grins, and you notice that a couple of his teeth are a little bit chipped. He smiles. Well, it's, they haven't really named it yet, as is often the case with these uncharted islands. Here, he holds up the map, sort of turns it a little so that you can see. See how this island a couple of days south of here is, the coast is penciled in, but that's it. That means no explorers have really set foot on the island yet. That's where we're making our way to.
Alright, I see. And what kind of things can we expect from this island exactly?
Well, it's further south, so it'll probably be a damn sight warmer than this. And from what one of our scouts has said, it appears to be tropically wooded. Apparently there is pirate activity in the area, hence why we've invested in a few of these. He gestures at the sort of alchemist fire cannons. There's 4 of them sort of studding out of the deck.
Alright. Alright. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna wander around the ship and let the rest of the party go ahead.
Fair enough. Okie doke, so it is Brogland next.
I don't really think Program will be doing anything in particular. I mean, I think nothing that needs his attention right now.
Does he have sea legs?
Fun.
Does he have sea legs?
Roll a dexterity save. I'm gonna make each of you do this now just because it seems funny. God help anyone rolling a natural 1. Right off ship.
A dexterity save or
Yeah.
a dexterity check. So you want a reflex save or what?
Dexterity check.
So do it.
1d20. If that's reflex, then go for it. I don't know how reflex works.
No, I don't think he'd be reflex. Oh, you're fine.
Oddly enough, Brother Glanvar is fine. Is this the first time you've been on a ship like this, or...?
Pardon?
Is this the first time you've been on a ship like this, or is this something that you've sort of refined after a while? Like, just stepped into the old,
Oh no, it's his first time on a boat.
Sea legs.
You know.
Fair enough.
He wasn't a pirate, he was a bandit.
Fair enough.
Holy shit.
Okay.
No, I'm just reading some things. I'm just reading
Okay.
some things.
I'm glad you're having a good time. So do you want to do anything with your time, Clanvar?
Pardon? We say what else?
What do you want to do with your time? It's sort of afternoon, it's quite hot. It's probably even only a day or so out of Scumport. You can feel the sun beating down on you a lot more even than it was in the relatively drizzly streets of Scumport. So, yeah. There's crew milling around, the aforementioned bard and priest are sort of hanging out chatting. They both seem quite young, half
I guess he could
elves.
see if he's got any. I guess he could see if there's anything he can do on the ship just to keep himself busy, work-wise. There's always
Okay.
shit to do on these things.
So you wander over to the first mate because
Holy shit.
generally they're the kind of person who enacts the captain's orders.
You go be a lookout if you want. Scale the rigging.
Rickard shrugs. We've already got the lad up there, but I've heard tell of your keen eye and strong bow, so I wouldn't fault you. He motions up to the rigging.
Come on, stop giggling.
I'm
Right.
assuming you know your way up.
I'll figure it out.
Fair enough. So you can roll a climb check to head on up there if you'd like. There isn't actually a ladder, it is literally clambering up the rigging in order to get up there. I'm sorry, what?
I know.
Boop.
Okay, so that's 15, so you do sort of clamber up pretty neatly, startle a sort of short, ruddy-haired boy who is already up there. He's a halfling lad, and he's got like a little, rather antique-looking telescope, which is sort of surprising because they are fairly rare. But he turns and sort of jumps as he notices you. Oh, come up here to join me then.
Yeah, it's boring down there.
Yeah, that's fair. It's nice having the wind up your hair up, throw your hair up here at least, and it's a good place to think.
Or sleep.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's the only way I'm earning my dinner tonight, but feel free, Master.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okie doke, so Glanvar is taking a nap.
Oh, he's not taking a nap. He's just saying he could or sleep up there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetical sleep. That's the best sleep of all. Dave, what are you up to?
Trying to get Mad Max to stop attacking seagulls.
That is futile indeed. He is swooping through the air. At least 3 seagulls have been pinned to the mast. And he is spiraling above like this dark silhouette over the deck occasionally. Feathers just sort of radiating down every once in a while.
Seagulls are annoying, so I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone considers this a boon. Other than watching Mad Max chasing seagulls.
Hmm.
Go see the other bard. Say hello.
Fair enough. So
And the priest as well, if they're together, just because
they are set together. Half-elves are sort of tricky because they have a bit of the natural longevity of elves, but so they tend to look younger for longer.
I think it's longevity, by the way.
I'm sorry?
I think it's longevity, or longevity, I'm not quite sure.
God,
Never
no.
mind, continue.
But you can tell that these are fairly young, probably equivalent of about 20 years old. The halfling, a young woman who you vaguely remember being introduced to as Quinn, is currently tuning a flute. Not a flute, a lute even, words.
Oh, cool.
So she's occasionally sort of playing a note.
So, is she a halfling or a half-elf?
She's a half-elf. Both of them are half-elves.
Okay.
You remember her brother is called John, and is a healer. And he's a priest of the healer, basically, who is a fairly popular god.
Okay.
Like, to a point.
Who is this god?
The healer.
Healer.
Mostly popular...
Like
I'm sorry?
I was thinking he sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. Basically, mostly popular in some of the sort of separate cities out on the plains, where Riverton is located, for example, and Scumport is at the south end of. It's the kind of religion that generally just promotes looking after the poor, the weak, the elderly, So there are a fair amount of little hospitals of the healer that crop up in churches and in just spare buildings from time to time.
All right.
So John sort of looks up at you nervously and remains quiet, but Quinn sort of smiles and offers her hand.
Looks up.
A fellow bard, nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Quinn, I think we've been introduced on this morning, right?
Yeah.
It's good to see you. I thought it was going to be awfully quiet out here. I'd love to see you play at some point.
Dave is nodding. I was nodding, but you can't see that.
Fair enough. She sort of smiles back. Oddly, for a half-elf, she has freckles. Like, they're not that much of a common thing, but yeah. Sort of an awkward little ponytail and freckles.
Approval.
Approval.
Approval, yes.
John is watching, but doesn't particularly seem to be interacting currently.
I'll leave him alone then. I don't want to bother someone who doesn't want to be bothered just yet.
Fair enough. Quinn sort of smiles at you. Can I help you with anything right now?
I'm just wandering around, getting to know people. Are you going to be coming ashore when we land in however many days it is? Or are you just here for the bride?
Bit of both. My mother always says it was good for a young man to gain some experience out at sea, and John wouldn't come on his own. She sort of laughs and adjusts a note on her lute. John sort of smiles cautiously.
Well, my great auntie Tilda indicates to the helm.
The
She
captain,
always said that I should go out as well, so I did.
Seems like it's
2
been good
years
for
ago.
you. You look
Yeah,
stronger than most halflings I've seen. No offense intended, of course. She sort of raises her hands.
his strength stat is 6.
Yep, stronger than most halflings.
Honestly,
surprising.
I've definitely got stronger halflings. Yeah. Now I've got a dog, points to the cabin, and 2 birds. Well,
Points
3
to the
birds.
spiraling sort of death feathers.
Like a seagull
Smelling
corpse
down the
plummets
deck.
past them into the sea.
John sort of jumps as another seagull hits the deck and laughs. Yeah, we've been noticing your little friend's antics up above the deck. Is he new?
Yeah, he's called Max. He's really angry. So be careful.
I'll keep that in mind. Hi, Max. She waves upward at this
Angry squawk.
eagle circling, and there's just a angry, rage-filled squawk.
And his toast. Toast is much more chill.
Is
Toast.
Toast currently on your shoulder?
Yeah, I assume so. Either that or my head.
She's currently sat on your shoulder. You hear, like, like a hum of greeting, you know? It's like an extension of warmth. And Quinn tilts her head a little bit. What an unusual little bird. She smiles.
She says hello.
Hello back, little one. May I? She sort of reaches over hesitantly to pet Toast.
Yes. I assume Toast doesn't seem to mind.
Pets her gently. Toast doesn't seem to mind altogether. She gives another little hum. Would you like to do anything with either of the siblings?
We could say that the conversation continues and move on to what Sigmund's doing.
Chatting occurs.
Yes.
Okey-doke. It's Sigmund time. Ooh-wee.
Ooh, indeed. So, just dialing back to just before the ship left the harbour, in terms of purchased items, everyone very distinctly remembers Sigmund saying, well, I don't really think I need anything. I think I'm okay. And then he left to go shopping. And as he came back, he is lugging an extremely large treasure chest, with wearing another backpack on top of his usual backpack, and wearing a poncho and a fishing hat. And he looks quite embarrassed and goes, actually, when I had time to think about it, I realised I was missing a few things. As we go forward to normal time, he has set up a portable chair on the side of the boat. He appears to have brought with him a large amount of fishing equipment, and is currently fishing over the edge of the boat whilst drinking some ale, which he has also brought with him. As far as you can tell, he must have brought about 5 gallons of ale. A non-mithril waffle iron embellished with the crest of Arbello. So
Wow.
he has cooked some Arbello waffles.
That is
That's
nice.
canon, by the way.
Is he going to?
That's absolutely canon.
Nice. Is he gonna cook us like fish waffles with the fish that he's catching?
Is it grilled fish?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
grilled fish cakes in the
Grill-
Arbello waffle iron. So it has
Yeah.
a little.
Oh, Jesus.
Bees.
Well, he wasn't able to get any rubber ducks because they had all sold out, but he did check for them. And he
The
has
only issue with the Arbalo waffle iron is that occasionally it completely burns the fish cakes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
to cinders.
Oh God, that's dark. Thank you for that, Jack.
Wow.
That's terrible. And he's bought as far as you don't know exactly everything that he got, but he's also what's the weather like? Is it wet or is it hot?
It's like almost like warm. It's like a clinging heat.
Oh, good God.
Not a lot of you have been very far south. The weather on Sker can be quite like this, during the summertime, but only for a couple of weeks at a time. It's like July weather,
Yeah, Apollyon would not be used to this, so he's probably like somewhere in like the depths of the ship.
He's got like a full-on umbrella over his head,
Yeah.
like reinforced.
Can we-
Monster in the Darkness style shadow.
Yeah.
Sigmund is wearing his poncho. He has a parasol up, and he has apparently changed. He's not wearing his armor right now, but he's apparently changed into a hot weather outfit.
I'm currently
he's-
imagining him
Wow.
just like sitting with little fold-out chairs and like a Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
shorts,
Yeah.
sandals and
He-
socks.
That is
Like
hot weather gear.
Like he literally did buy a hot weather outfit just in case he needed it, and apparently did. And he's fishing over the side, trying
With
to catch
his-
some fish.
Number
enough.
1 world's best dad mug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
number one world's
He's
best
got
dad.
the name Sigmund stitched into his fishing hat and the S is backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to try and fish, you can roll 2 survival checks for me.
Okay, I actually get because of the high quality fishing tackle. I actually get a +1 circumstance bonus to that.
Well, there you go.
I
Plus
know.
1 checks to fishing.
I didn't. Did that just womp it? I add a 1 to that if it did.
It
Okay.
did just womp it, so that's a 9.
All right, and then add a 1 to this as well.
It's a 3.
So you managed to catch like a couple of like anchovy-sized fish. Like they're
Is it
very
enough
nice
for one
colours.
Arbello waffle?
You know,
One
it
Arbello
probably
fish.
is. Like fish caking them, you probably could make a fairly decent-sized fish cake.
I think you need quite a lot of
Okay,
anchovies to make a fish
I mean,
cake.
I still have like the the meat from the butcher on me somewhere. I don't know how edible that is by now, but
It's been a couple of days and fridges aren't a thing.
yeah.
Hey, who wants to use
Japanese
rotten
created
meat?
Sushi.
Yeah.
It could be sushi, that's true. Arbalo brand sushi.
Nice.
Do you want me to make this dexterity check as well?
Yeah, you can if you'd like. Dave, did you do one?
No, but Dave has been on a ship before when he sailed over from
That's true.
the other continent.
Fair enough. That was probably 2 or 3 weeks sailing, so
Yeah,
I'm going to assume that you just have sea legs.
and the conditions
yeah.
here are probably a lot nicer as well.
Yeah, it's quite calm.
And there's
The
sheep.
northern sea between Sker and the sort of continent of PATHCO is actually quite choppy.
Mm.
I suppose is the best way to put it. So yeah, yeah, Sigmund, you can stroll around on ship quite a lot, like easily. You know, it's almost like second nature. Have you ever been on a ship before?
Probably, yeah. In fact,
Well,
yeah,
there you
almost
go.
certainly, yeah.
That would explain it. Meanwhile, I spent 20 seconds trying to rub something off my screen, only to realize it was drawn in the fucking on the sketchpad thing.
Oh.
God damn it. That's fine. Okie doke. So, yeah, you sail along. It's pretty calm. It's pretty, you know. You spend the next couple of days just sort of sailing along. You proceed at quite a quick pace. The wind's at your backs for most of it, which seems to push you on faster. Occasionally you notice that John is sat at the rear of the ship, sort of mumbling incantations, and you figure that he probably actually has something to do with that.
Have we seen
Like,
any interesting aquatic wildlife?
Yeah. As you get out into the deeper ocean, the sea grows a little darker, more like a cobalt color or something. I don't know. I'm colorblind. But you do notice that dolphins begin to sort of trail the rear of the ship, and sort of skip alongside it. And you notice that the packs of seagulls sort of begin to pull away. And
Yeah, they're not learned their lesson yet.
No. And more, like, further roaming birds, like albatrosses and stuff, are more apparent. Like, and even then they don't particularly stay for very long, you know?
By the way, I'm on that drawing of the half-elf bard. It's adorable.
Oh, well, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's the only thing I've drawn so far.
Oh,
Just keep
yeah. The one with
scrolling
the
around
fucking-
looking at undead slaves and thieves' tools and things like
This
that.
isn't that surprising. This is
No. Stop slacking off, drawing minion. Get back to work.
Oof. I like it, though. It's very cute. It's very Order of the Stickish. So, you probably got about 2 days free time. What do each of you do for those 2 days, Apollyon?
I am. First of
You
all,
sulking in the hold the entire
yeah,
time.
basically.
Too hot.
I'm like skulking around in the hold. Is there any person that I meet from the crew, like someone who works the cannons or something like that?
What about the cook?
Oh yeah, the
Hey.
cook.
Vital importance.
Oh god, can I talk to the cook?
The ship doesn't have a cook per se, so much as a
Why
quartermaster.
cook? It's a vital role.
Guys, shut up. Instead, there's a quartermaster who sort of does the cooking just because there isn't that much he can do while on board. So,
Like budget, like Tilda's like budgeting, trying to get people that can do multiple things.
basically,
Pay
yeah.
as many wages.
Yeah, basically.
Right, so
That's
this
Why I
so-
climb through a king, and no one can tell me to do shit.
Yep, that's it. That's Clamor in a nutshell.
The halfling natters at you.
Anyway, so you run into Declan working in the galley. He's a surprisingly tall, sort of quite lithe for a half-orc gentleman. And he's got his hair back in like a short sort of braid thing. And actually has like a short pair of spectacles on his nose. He sort of smiles and nods at you as you enter the long, thin galley. It's along one of the edges of the ship.
Alright.
Like a makeshift surgeon's quarters on the other side.
I see.
So,
Alright.
He's
Yeah,
nodding.
and what's he doing right now?
Currently, he appears to be writing in a notebook, but there are several sort of pots bubbling away, ready for.
Alright. So
that next step.
Apollion's like gonna approach the cooking pots and say, so, what's cooking?
Tonight, stew. I hope you find that acceptable, but I was not hired based upon my cooking talents, I'm afraid. I am a damn sight better a quartermaster than I am a chef, but I try. Feel free to help yourself if you'd like some.
Can I give the stew a taste?
Yeah, you can give the stew a taste.
Or Constitution.
It's quite sort of meaty. Like, it's almost like a gravy as opposed to a soup, as opposed to a stew. It's very sort of, almost like a bit grainy.
Alright.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Alright.
Declan sort of smiles at you. We saved a lot of money buying supplies for that soup. You would never be able to tell what animal's in that.
Wow. Can I roll perception to try and
that
tell?
would actually be knowledge nature.
Oh, right. Okay, then.
What am I eating?
Obviously.
20.
As far as you can tell, it seems to be mostly goat. There is quite a lot of goat in here. As well as that, there's a decent amount of rat. You know, it's scum pork's
rat?
made of meat. Yeah.
Alright.
Good old scum pork cuisine, you know.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
You know, so long as it's free range, it's pretty good. Yeah, as far as you can tell, it's probably about 25% goat, 75% rat. And
That's a
Oh,
lot of rats.
That
That
is a lot of rat. For not a lot of
Considering
goat.
it's feeding about 25 people, it's a big
That's an
pot.
unreasonable amount of rats. That's like a
That-
pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably about 20 rats.
Where do you get all that rat?
Well, Scumport seems to breed them.
I
Alright.
figured that all the rats on the
Half
ship would end up
Half
being.
the crews on the sea can probably feed
Alright,
off of
can
Scumports.
can I like roll something to try and like season the stew or something like?
I was going to do that later on.
You can try and... I'm not sure what that'd be. Probably craft? You can
You
try
go to
craft-
Dave and ask if he can find some spices on his person.
All right. I'm just gonna see what's around in the kitchen.
Okay, so there's... It's fairly sort of plain. There's
Oh,
like
look,
salt,
wow.
pepper.
You know what? I am
Is it
actually
my
just
what?
only now am I realizing how much probably now rotten meat I am carrying on my person. I still
Oh,
have
Jesus.
like the meat of the electro lizard we fought in like
Oh,
the tower
Oh,
module.
God.
I thought you
That's
tried
still-
to incorporate that into Gilhelm.
Well,
And it failed, but I think he
Yeah.
failed.
yeah, and I think I got
Okay.
it back, so I still have that on me.
You know, I
That
think
is
it's time for someone to
horrifying.
make use of the portable bath.
Yeah. Alright, so I need to roll craft then.
Yeah, probably. And like, there's some dried herbs, you know, pretty
Yeah,
cheap stuff.
that's
but
right.
it's nice enough.
19, boys.
Apollyon ace chef at some point. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the Buckharts believed in you having a well-rounded education,
Yeah,
and
probably.
as such, you know, you spent a couple of days.
They kind of
hanging out with
cut
the,
back on the necromancy and actually just taught him how to like season stew and such.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
cooked-
they
he
didn't,
cooked-
but they had people to do it
Yeah.
for them, you know, and that's important.
He cooks a mean omelette.
Yeah, basically. You have fond memories of helping out in the kitchens of Ossenheim, along with, admittedly, the mostly undead cooking staff.
Yeah.
You know, for a skeleton to not have sense of taste but still be able to work as a chef, very impressive.
It
So
is,
yeah,
yes.
you add a bit of seasoning, you add a bit of like stock, like vegetable stock to kind of balance it out.
Mm,
You add like herbs, you add spices, and eventually it starts to taste like actual food.
nice.
Declan sort of smiles at you, and he actually ruffles your hair because he looms over you a bit. He's not sturdy, but he's quite a physically intimidating man, and he smiles. You're better at this than you look. please, if you have any free time whilst on board, I'll be happy to pass you a couple of silver for improving my somewhat dubious cuisine.
So Apollyon's like not really that into physical contact, so he's like with a distrustful, like side-eyed glance. He's gonna say like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
He hands you 2 silvers,
Nice.
sort of pats your shoulder, and returns to writing in a small notebook.
Gosh, Polly's being useful. Fancy that.
He is. Horrifying news, everyone. Broglan, what do you do for the sort of 2 days of downtime on ship?
In between napping in the crow's nest and just generally looking out.
Did you go fishing with Sigmund?
Roll perception.
I do have a spare. Sigmund does have a spare fishing pole if you want to help out.
Fishing buddies.
He only has 1 share.
You'll have to sit on the floor, I'm afraid.
Well, he also has a collapsible plank.
What?
What's it
How is
called?
that a thing?
I assure you that it is. In the same way that collapsible bathtub is a thing.
So, like, it's a plank that, like, unfolds?
Yes, so we can make people walk the plank if we need to.
Oh wow,
Oh.
that's pretty clever actually.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah?
So we could put out the collapsible plank. You could sit on like way down the other end with like the treasure chest. And you could sit on that, and fish out.
Nice.
Nice.
What was this?
I am
Anyway, what were you
definitely
going
up
to
for-
do then, Glambar?
You just told me to roll a perception check.
I did, have you?
Yes.
Sorry, a fishing conversation happened for some reason, and then random shit in the inventory conversation happened. So, about halfway through the second day, you notice a dot on the horizon. You're able to borrow the halfling lad's telescope, and with your improved vision, you do notice that it's an unmarked ship with grey sails. It
Ship
doesn't
ho.
come any closer, it doesn't go any further, and after about an hour it turns and it begins to depart.
Okay.
If I
What
were
would-
the captain right now, I'd totally pursue, but that's just my humble opinion.
Also because you're an idiot.
Tilda rolls her eyes.
Excuse
We're an
you.
exploratory vessel. We're supposed to just be heading south for a nice fat paycheck from the Adrov Collective. Remember?
I suppose.
I tell you what, when you've gotten old and fat, and retired, and then unretired, and purchased a ship, then you can run things how you want to.
So much sass.
Tilda is having none of your shit. Okay. Dave, what do you do with the sort of 2 days killing time?
I suppose coo over the aquatic wildlife and talk to anyone who's willing to talk back.
As you're the captain's son, pretty much everyone is willing to talk back.
Son, great nephew.
Great nephew, my apologies. Sorry, dumb moment. Captain's
Everyone
family, ah.
Relatives, yes.
Yes.
Probably
Yes.
some barding as well. That's
Okay,
akin-
so...
If there's like
as-
a gathering in the evening, I will tell epic tales
Yeah,
of
of course. There's
what we're
a...
doing.
The galley isn't particularly used for eating in, it's more like a long kitchen. But you gather on the deck and you eat and you trade stories and you compose epic ballads about your many adventures.
Sigmund comes
And,
in and sets down a single fish cake in the middle of the
Wow.
It's like one a day, and it's like the special.
Wow.
Everyone takes a bit and says how good it is, and Sigmund like wipes a tear from his eye. It burned this one again.
Did Napoleon help with the fish cake making this last time?
Did you?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I did. Let's say that I did.
Right,
Okay.
roll a survival check with a +1 to see how much fish we got, if we could get more than one fish cake.
15 plus 1.
Decent.
Okay, so you do actually get a decent-sized fish today, like a sea bass or something, you know.
Hey.
So that's enough for like at least like probably 10, 15 fish cakes.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's a lot.
It's
Nice.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Apollyon, of course, has fond memories of hanging out at the lake by Ossenheim, along with
You know
a surrogate skeleton father.
Sorry. Well, you know, to be fair, yeah, that's probably not too far off of what happened.
Can we get a skeleton in like a life jacket and a fishing hat?
Yes.
Come on, son! We're going fishing! Yeah!
Yeah, to be fair, this is probably like what most of Apollyon's youth did actually consist of.
Imagine he was like raised with like skeleton nannies.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this is probably the case.
What were his actual parents like? I mean, I'm assuming they were eventually dead, but
Well, yeah.
and scared undead rather. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Elves.
He's one of the only
Undead.
adventurers where dead parents isn't actually that much of a big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so yeah, you make some fairly sizable fish cakes. You know, you feel yourself start to actually get a bit better at this whole fishing thing.
Nice. Do I get
So,
like
yeah.
a bonus for that or something?
It was his dex bonus, or negative thing wears off. How about that?
Yeah. You no longer have negatives to dexterity-based checks.
All right,
whilst aboard
nice.
ship. You start to find your sea legs, and you can add that in your character notes if you want.
Alright.
Okie doke. So that was... Okay, so that was Dave. So you spend your time, what?
Doing a
Barding a
lot
boot.
and making friends with people.
Fair enough. So... Roll a diplomacy check.
Me?
Yeah.
Does it have to be diplomacy, or can I do the whole, you know,
You can do the whole
bard
body thing.
thing?
Odd thing. Down, 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 down. So yeah, you actually learn quite a lot from hanging out with various sort of elements of the ship's crew, and yeah, you actually gain 1 rank in Profession Sailor, should you choose to take it.
One rank in what?
Profession Sailor.
Sure, why not?
Because, you know, it's not like you don't have enough skill ranks anyway.
Yeah.
True.
Man, you should be grateful.
Yay!
I
Now
would.
now my rank is 0. Now it's at 0 after I roll in Sailor. Wonderful.
Nice.
Alright, I've drawn like a fish cake thing.
Can Apollyon not get +1 in craft cooking?
I would love that.
Okay, sure, why not?
I like that Apollyon suddenly becoming a chef. Like he's found something to do below deck. I'm happy
Sure,
for that.
why not? Apollyon,
I'm
you get
amazed
plus
any of you
1.
are trusting to eat it, to be honest.
Oh, how
Well-
we can cook the seagulls that Mad Max catches.
Excuse
That's pretty
you,
nice,
if it's
actually.
not to your liking, please go suit yourself. I'm sure there's plenty of rats on this ship to eat.
I think Riker
Hey!
eat most of
Tilda
them.
sort of pipes up at this point. Rats are very well fed, I'll have you know.
Honestly, if there was a
They're
rat, Riker would try and
organic.
eat it.
She sips some ale, sort
Organic.
of counting.
What
Organic
animals
rats.
are Riker food?
Nice.
So yeah, Sigmund, you can get rank in Profession Fisherman if you want.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, I just thought that was like amusing, like character stuff. So.
Yeah, it is, it is.
Yeah. It's fun.
Anyway, so Sigmund, what do you do for the sort of 2 days killing time?
Keep fishing.
Fishing and drinking.
Fishing and drinking. That's all you need. Roll survival.
Okay.
Roll to survive the drinking.
Or you can roll-
Profession fisherman.
You can now roll Profession Fisherman instead.
Presumably, I still get my +1 from my quads. That's
You
6. I'm so bad at this.
So,
Well, you are new at
despite
it.
your increasing training, you've probably gotten from like anchovies to like probably like
Sardines.
yeah, like sardines, like a decent amount bigger, but you're working on it. You're getting better.
I'm just imagining that Sig is like trying to give Apollyon like fatherly advice. He's like, "Yeah, just do this," and like then Apollyon just brings out the sea bass compared to what Sigmund's guy.
Apollyon is busy
Yeah.
flashbacking to hell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
fishing at Lake Ossenheim in the drizzle.
So Sigmund brought 5 gallons of ale with him. How many gallons has he gotten through?
He's your character, you tell me.
He has gotten through 1 gallon so far.
Okay. So, you know, he's trying to pace himself. I mean, he's catching fish for the entire crew here. You know,
You're not
that's
sharing
very
any. But that'd make you lots of friends if you shared some.
He is sharing.
I bet it would. I'm sharing the fish, yeah.
Okay.
He's just not catching many. Okie doke. So, on the dawn of the 3rd day, where is everyone? Just one sentence. Apollyon?
Apollyon is like in the hold, still hiding from the sunlight. He is actually trying to make like a flag with his face painted on it, in case they find any like wild and uncolonized islands.
He's trying to claim it in the name of himself.
Yeah, like not even in the name of the Buckhearts, just in the name of himself.
Fair enough. Okie doke. Roll a craft check.
Alright. 4. Shit.
So it's like a stick down.
Yeah.
Okay, so your face is a bit off kilter. One of the eyes is facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Both of the eyes are actually sequins, but it's from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You know,
definitely a
it's-
flag.
It's the thought that counts, and you know, people will definitely wonder what you were thinking when you created it. So
Nice.
yeah, you now have a crudely drawn flag in your inventory.
Love it.
Love it. That's what I need. Crudely drawn flags. Okie doke. Broglan, what are you up to? Dawn of the 3rd day. 24 hours remaining.
Do I
Wait,
see
what?
anything
Sorry.
interesting?
Roll perception.
Whoa.
So it's about 6 a.m. and you're just rousing yourself. You and Geraint, who is the small halfling lad who also shares the crow's nest and indeed seems to spend most of his time up here with you, have been sort of switching shifts throughout the night. As you awaken, you notice a dark smudge on the horizon as dawn begins to sort of break. And within 20 minutes, you can tell it is 2 ships. They seem to be making their way towards you.
Alright.
From which direction are they coming?
They are coming from the south.
Aft, stern, port, or starboard?
Fuck knows, from the south.
Which
Which
way
way are we
direction we're
currently
heading?
Which way are we currently sailing?
South.
South. So that'd be
The stern.
So that,
Stern, yeah.
sorry, I'm not a big nautical guy. I don't know if it's obvious.
So stern is the front, and then the back is the bow. Not
Yeah.
the front.
No, bow's the front.
Oh,
sorry.
bow's
the
Bow's
front,
the front.
stern.
Bow,
Stern.
prow, and stern's the back. There we go. I was going bow and prow.
You
and
do
stern.
notice that the ships
Okay.
have the same sort of grey sails as the one that you remember seeing a couple of days ago.
Right.
What do you do?
It's going to shout down from the crow's nest. Ship off to the distance towards the stern. Sure,
Geraint
Yeah,
sort
prow.
of.
It's a prow. Yeah.
prow.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, prow.
Yes.
Geraint sort of jumps to his feet and looks out. Where? I don't see it. He sort of fumbles with his telescope, eventually drawing it up. He sort of adjusts it awkwardly and then eventually just passes it to you, Glambar. You notice that the ships seem to be relatively busy. You can see a lot of people sort of milling around on them. And you actually notice the glint of another telescope in their crow's nest facing towards you.
Okay, so they're definitely like interested in us. So like we're the goal of their.
Not necessarily, because we're going, ooh, there's a ship over there. What if it's pirates? The same way we're going, ooh, there's a ship over there. What if it's pirates?
I guess.
Probably is pirates, because otherwise Jackie wouldn't have brought it up. But
That's
Well,
called
well,
metagaming.
I know.
Far be it
Better.
from me to suggest strategies to what the captain might want to do.
So Tilda, as you sort of mention her, is actually just sort of stirring. She comes out of her cabin, wiping her face. She sort of looks around. All right, what's going on then? She calls out up to you, essentially.
He shouts back down, 2 ships, grey sails, off towards the prow.
All right, I'll rouse the crew. She rings a bell, and people begin to stir all over the ship as they sort of ready themselves to the worst.
How far are these ships like away from us?
They're probably about 15 minutes away from you at this point.
No, in distance.
Nautical miles.
feet.
They are. I don't know,
Depends
like
on how fast, on how many knots we're travelling, how many knots they're travelling. If we're going with the wind,
15
or
minutes
against the
probably
wind.
makes more sense.
they're probably about 5 miles away. I don't know.
All right.
Nautical terms, man, nautical terms.
I don't know nautical terms.
We should
Admittedly, this
research.
was poor foreplanning, but you know, fuck it.
You didn't consider the idea that some of us might actually have some knowledge of nautical stuff.
Basically, yes.
It's too late now. Let's just move on.
Basically. Okay, so what do each of you do?
Turn to start aft.
Pardon?
So turn to start aft.
Yeah, I'd say, well, just turn one direction or the other and see if they match.
Tilda sort of nods and gives it a little bit of a jiggle, pulling off to the right, and you notice that the grey sailed ships sort of mimic that. Still sort of on a collision course with you.
All right.
Has this information been passed through to the rest of the people on board as well?
You know that there's sort of a warning, like alarm bell that's been ringing out for
Okay,
probably
I think
about the
six-
last minute.
Right, Sig's
Alright.
gonna
It's probably
kind of
about
put down
8
his
a.m.
fishing stuff, and so if Sigmund's like was either up or not, he's basically gonna start getting his armor up.
All right.
Possibly over the top of his Hawaiian jacket, just for
Nice.
Obviously.
All right. Apollyon is
Okey-doke.
going to get out his grappling hatchet. Like hook it onto his belt. Take out his 2 vials of alchemist's fire and hook those to it. Like put those on his belt as well.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Glenvar? How do you prepare?
Well, I'm guessing he probably wouldn't have his bow and arrow up there, would he?
You're relatively well prepared, and you have been spending a lot of time up there recently, so
Probably could climb down and get it. It is a fair distance away still. Or ask
15
someone to bring it
minutes
up
is
to
not
you.
that far.
Well, 15 minutes is enough time to climb it down, grab your bow, get back up again. Or ask
Actually,
someone
we've
to
had
bring
with-
it to you.
I'm gonna say he has it up there with him.
fair enough. Probably simpler.
Because you never know when he's going to need it up there. So he's just going to be up. He's just going to be readying some arrow, readying himself with his bow and arrow.
Okey-doke, so you
They match
notch.
us. They match
sorry?
us for our course change.
Yes.
So everyone's getting a bit nervous.
Yeah, basically. Like, the ship's deck is like a hive of activity right now. You notice that John is at the very rear of the ship and is actually casting divine spells, upping the wind behind you. Quinn is strumming her lute, trying to assist. Tilda is just white-knuckled gripping the wheel of the ship, and she sort of looks down to you, Dave. Alright, we're not armed for a fight, so this could be messy. We've got the 4 Alchemist fire launchers, but that's it.
Could we try outrun them?
That's what I'm trying. I've got my lad here, and his darling sister trying to press us on, but currently they're matching our course changes. So, yeah.
If I help
you'd like,
the half-elves, do you think that would make a difference?
you can definitely give it a go, lad.
Can
Okay.
I, actually, Jakku, I just found out that I have a Cloak of Resistance in my backpack, which I once got. Which we once found,
Yes, I
I
remember.
think. What is the bonus of that cloak?
If
I've got a
memory
cloak of
serves, it's
shade.
a +1 to saving throws.
Yeah, it is, but, well, there's a difference, because it can actually be a +1, +2, 3, 4, or 5.
I'd say it's probably a +1 one, because if memory serves, it was from the Master of the Fallen Fortress module.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, so you get a +1 on Fortitude, Reflex, and Will.
Oh no, alright. I just need to know what thing it was.
It's pretty expensive, actually. That's a 500 gold piece of treasure.
I know, man.
Bitchin'.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. So, yeah, you can definitely try and assist the siblings if you'd like. Entirely your call.
I think Dave's probably talking to them like a little bit more than some of the others, just because they seem friendly and roughly his age, almost.
Fair enough. So, in the couple of days that you've started speaking to them, John has started to open up to you a little bit. Quinn is fairly lovely with you. You've been doing like duets and stuff to entertain the crew at meal times. And are you actually going to assist them with this?
Yeah, so I'm gonna help.
Okey-doke. You can roll a perception to not a perception. A
Form.
perform even might be more helpful. Maybe no.
Yes, I believe it would. That's 20.
Okie doke. So, John's symbol actually glows a little bit brighter, and there's a sort of judder as the ship begins to pick up pace.
Nice.
So, everyone has their sea legs, but John in particular stumbles a little bit from the increased sort of power behind you. And as the first sort of fireballs from the other ship's Alchemist fire launchers begin to arc above you, they fall wide as they've sort of underestimated how quickly you were traveling.
Whew. So I definitely pirates them.
You are now probably within range of these ships.
There are 2 ships, was it?
Yes,
Okay.
2 ships. They're probably about 2/3 of the size of the Fireball, and they're
Fantastic.
currently more or less behind you. Each one has the 4 Alchemist fire launchers, and they also have a catapult in the front.
Alright,
Wonderful.
sounds great.
It does. Sounds amazing. Fantastic.
Yep. Sounds like a good time.
Alright. Apollyon is actually gonna put on his armored coat and his Cloak of Resistance on top of that.
I'm armoring up. Puts
Yeah.
on coat.
Yes.
Nailed it.
And it has like a hood as well, so he looks like pretty badass. Well,
That is debatable, but alright.
as far as Apollyon can do so.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And he
So
has
the
like
ship sort of judders as you travel, probably a little bit faster than the ship was designed to travel. But you do appear to be sort of picking up pace away from them. Although they do now seem to be aiming their various siege weapons towards you.
How far are they from us?
Probably about 100 feet behind you. Probably within range of bows, probably spells, you know, stuff like that.
bows and, more importantly, glitter dust.
Glitter
Is that gonna
the
make any?
shit.
Is that gonna help though?
If I blast the catapult operators with it, I mean it does
That would be
blind.
quite
point.
helpful.
Has Sigmund managed to get his armor on, by the way?
Sigmund now has his armor on.
Okay.
Alright, can I try to blast the catapult and anyone operating it with glitter dust?
There are 2 ships. Which ship do you choose? They're fairly identical.
Alright, I'm gonna draw a little thing here. Doot, sorry, doot. There we go.
Excuse me.
Okay, so we have ship 1, ship 2. And then down here we've got the fireball. F.
Just give us a moment for the stream to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still on your spell page for me. Hang on.
I know.
Man. I love the Apollyon flag. That's terrifying.
It's very bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Alright, so as you can see here, there's ship 1 and ship 2.
Yes, we can see them now.
And I'm
They're
gonna
a lot bigger
go.
than ours.
I'm sorry?
They're a lot bigger than ours.
Well, they were double the size, weren't they?
Were they?
No, they're
Oh,
2/3 the size.
that's bigger
right.
then.
That's even
That means
more.
they're probably faster.
Alright,
Limited
so
knowledge of Assassin's Creed
I'm gonna
4.
go for ship 1. So,
Okie doke.
and I'm going to blast the catapult, or well, like the deck around the catapult with glitter dust. That
Okie
actually
doke.
has. I'm gonna check the radius on that.
All my spells are pretty close range, so none of them are particularly useful here. I've been checking.
Alright, so the radius, a 10 feet radius.
10 feet per level radius, mon frere, so that's a bit more than that.
Oh yeah, no, that's a range.
Oh, no, sorry, that's the range, my mistake.
So that's why I have a
Please.
range of 140.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
nice.
see. You were getting. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could probably reach the operators of the catapults.
Alright, yeah, let's do
You
it.
notice that there are a couple of sort of rather tattooed, sort of bulky-looking, dark-skinned half-orc gentlemen who are sort
Alright.
of
I'm gonna
tossing
quickly
stones.
swing out my armored coat, which is a move action, so I can totally do that. And then I'm going to blast them with glitter dust. Go, go, go!
Okey-doke. Concentration.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
So you almost Hadoken it, forming it in your hands in like a ball of concentrated glitter, and then whoosh,
It makes like
you
a
watch it
big,
until
like glittering line across the sea, and as it goes towards the ship, and then just poof, makes a big cloud.
like a cloud just opens up around the other lot, and they begin to sort of pour at their eyes, rubbing at them.
Technically, all of them should make like a resistance check, but
That might take a while.
I did do so.
alright,
Or I rolled 3. I'm quite lazy.
alright.
GM rolling, yeah.
Yeah.
So they like pour at their eyes, they hiss visibly, you hear sort of angry shouting, and then the catapult fires, and the sort of stones that were compacted into the arm of the catapult sort of fire short, or like patter into the deck harmlessly.
Nice.
Okie doke.
Apollion's gonna like shout into the distance like, "That's right! Take that!"
Should we be doing initiative on this, or?
I don't know.
It's not really a
Actually,
fight.
I
was
got
pretty
a
much just
bolt
depending
for
on-
5 minutes. Be right back.
Okay.
Rogueland, it's your turn.
So no initiative then.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of like the prep before the initiative phase.
Yeah, because we're not we're not
There's no
personally fighting
hand-to-hand
them.
combat going on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay,
because
makes sense.
this isn't like 6-second bursts. Is it? This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
What prep do you do ahead of the?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Glanvor's going to prepare. He's just going to start readying arrows.
Snipe people.
You could probably make some shots, I guess.
You could probably make some shots, yeah.
How close are they?
Probably about 100 feet.
I could start trying to take out.
If you're in the...
Do they have any deck gunners?
What do you mean? There's a couple of people manning catapults, and there's a couple of people sort of pulling Alchemist's fire launchers into place.
I will aim for the Alchemist's fire launchers. Actually, the Alchemist's fire doesn't set fire, doesn't burn wood, so I'll shoot the catapults.
Burns people though.
I suspect the GM might have forgotten that fact.
Actually, it's surprisingly good for capturing a ship alive while still
Alright.
killing all of that crew. And
However-
they'll probably still get stuff like the rigging and the sails, which are fairly easy to replace, but very, very easy to disable a ship in combat with.
Mm.
However, catapults have the nasty habit of breaking wood.
Yes,
Indeed.
also handy.
So
So,
I'm
yeah.
going to aim for one of the catapult operators.
Okie doke. Ship 1's operators are currently like pouring a glitter dust from Apollyon. Ship 2 are readying a shot.
Ship 2 it is then.
Okie doke. Roll to hit. Boop. So, what basically happens is the arrow goes flying through the air. You watch it until it's like a glint in the distance, and it catches the operator heavily in the shoulder. You see him sort of slump forward, but slam his arm into the lever of the catapult as he does so.
Oh.
And an arc of stones just comes firing off towards you.
I have returned.
Uh,
What's happening?
We're
Who is
getting
where right
catapulted.
now? Who's on the sort of bow of the ship? Like the highest back deck?
Wherever Tilda is, Dave is probably near her. Oh no, he's with the other bard. My
The
brother,
barge
which-
is on the prow, Tilda is on the mid deck.
Okay, so I'm on the prow.
Okay. Apollyon, where are you? Are you on the prow as well?
He's probably like at the front of the ship because he was casting the glitter dust.
They're behind you, dear.
Hmm.
Are they? Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay,
you'd be on the
sorry.
back, presumably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then I would be at the back.
Sigmund, what about you?
I've not had my turn yet, but I can do that now if...
Where would you be?
I would be on the aft. I'd be going towards the rear, and I
Okay,
would
so
have brought
you're-
something with me from my trunk.
So you're like mid decks right now. And Apollyon, Dave, roll a reflex save.
Oh great. Actually, my reflex is pretty good, but still.
Reflex save. Oh shit. Well,
Oh dear.
Well.
Man. And you took your coat off as well.
yes.
Oh dear. Well, I hope you're good at swimming.
Oh dear. Am I just
Oh,
gonna
no.
get blasted right in the chest with a cannonball?
We'll find out.
The floorboards are nearby just erupt. A sort of thick, heavy stone gives a glancing blow to the fireball, bouncing off the deck and sort of skimming off into the sea. But Apollyon is at the end of one of said floorboards, so is sent flying.
Oh dear.
Like, probably sent from the prow to the mid deck. Just sent flying over the barricades, so roll 1d6.
Ah damn.
I'm okay then.
Yeah, you're mostly okay.
Three.
You managed to catch yourself. So you take 3 damage as you just sort of get thrown across the barricade
Alright.
next to Tilda, who looks at you desperately. Fight going well then.
Wow.
Okie doke. Sigmund, it's your turn. Yes? Is it Sigmund's turn? No, we haven't done Dave yet. My apologies, dear. Dave, it's your turn.
Faint panic. Escalating into severe panic, but we're not quite there yet. I don't know what to do. All my spells are way too close. So I guess I was probably playing a improved skill. Is that competence? Yeah.
You could,
inspire competence.
go down and heal me or something. I don't know.
You've only taken 3 points of damage, you wuss.
I've been thrown over half the ship.
You really
No.
haven't. You've been thrown
You've
across
got like a few splinters.
a fifth
Calm
of it.
down.
All right.
Anyway,
You're
what I'm gonna do
probably
is I
winded at the
assume I was saying inspire competence to help with John.
Yeah.
So I'll change my tune, like go from one chord to the other. Change key into inspire
Change from
courage.
F to F sharp.
Yes, inspire courage.
Suddenly your magical power drastically changes.
I really don't know what else to do, so I'm just doing the typical bard thing, playing a song.
Okay, what song are you playing?
Inspire courage,
Okay, fair enough.
which I have realised. I did know this before. I think it does +2 instead of +1.
Nice. Okie doke. So, Sigmund, what are you doing?
So Sigmund has just finished getting his armor on over the top of his Hawaiian shirt, and he's gone to. After, I'm assuming all of his stuff is packed away into the chest. But while he's putting away his fishing gear, he pulls something recently purchased from his treasure chest and takes it with him to the aft of the ship. Ideally, to he's a relatively experienced soul. He's been a mercenary before. He can kind of look at a situation. Where do you think if a ship was going to attempt to board the back of ours, what kind of routes do you think they'd be coming up through?
Probably the mid deck, just because it's a good place to capture. Like, what with the?
No, I mean, like
ship's wheel
literally, if they were going to attack us, then they were going to swing over, a choke point there. Would they be able to get to the because they're going to have to go on the deck first before they get to the midship, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, the midship is just a section of the deck. It's slightly
Oh,
raised.
yeah, of
a bit,
course.
but,
Oh, of course. So the midship and
it's where the ship's wheel is. You can sort of see it on the diagram.
Cool. Sigmund, anyone that is on the midship, and he's going to kind of take a second to observe the scenario and see if he can work out a good place to lay a trap for if people were trying to board us.
You can roll perception or something. Maybe knowledge engineering.
Can I choose which one of those I want?
Yes.
I'll choose to do perception.
Then do so. Sorry, I was just aware it was a fighter class skill. Okay, so yeah, you make a decent judge of it. You figure you have a fair idea of where they'd probably try and clamber up to, try and force Tilda away from the wheel, take control of the ship rather literally,
Oh yeah, so I'll look to Tilda as, you keep your eyes on it. Things are going to get hairy if we do get boarded, but I came prepared. This should watch your back if we're busy, if they try and come midship, and anyone that's on the midship will notice that Sigmund has in his arms what appears to be some kind of bear trap.
Oh God, not again.
You can check, it was on the list of things I gave to you.
It was.
As he pulls apart the steel jaws and places it down at the appropriate point, and like steel chain and hammers, boom, and he doesn't hammer because he's not going to hammer, but he stamps on the kind of steel spike to make sure it gets hooked into the deck, and it's basically just putting a little bit of static defense for Tilda there, and then takes up a position on the opposite side just to make sure we've got a bit of defense up against boarding.
I have an idea, or well, if it's my turn anyway.
Actually, can I just I'm going to stick by Tilda if I can, in case anybody tries to snipe her, so I can make use of my shield
other.
My shield over feet. Does that make sense?
Yep, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All right. Can I have Ryan, my winged homunculus man,
Yes.
carry a bottle of alchemist's fire and just try to bomb one of the ships?
Entirely possible, though he would be probably vulnerable to being attacked.
Yeah, if they have arrows.
They've got a couple of blokes with crossbows, you can tell.
All right.
Although
what's the dexterity of a homunculus like?
I'm pretty sure I sent you the.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Actually, I'm looking at it.
I'd say it'd probably
So
be.
they have
I can say-
Dex 15.
I'm sorry.
They have Dex 15.
Yeah.
And
so
they have a fly bonus of plus 10.
they also have the feet lightning reflexes, so they get
Yeah.
+2 on reflex saves.
Alright, yeah.
Fucking moth. Jesus.
So in total that's like a plus 4 to reflex saves.
Yeah, probably.
Because it uses like the Dex mod, doesn't it? The reflex save.
Yep. I'd say
Alright,
that's
yeah,
probably
so that's
a +4.
4. Alright, then I'm going
Okay.
to attempt this.
Okie doke. So Ryan is of course telepathic. You know, you can communicate with him very
Yeah,
easily,
yeah.
so there's no need for any animal handling checks or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Where do you want him to sort of drop his payload?
Above ship number 1, which was
Okay, so they're
recently
still
glittered.
sort of recovering
Yeah,
from
like glitter dusted.
the thorough glitter dusting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can roll a reflex save for Mr. Ryan Gosling if you want to do that.
Alright, I will.
Or was it Ryan Reynolds? Which one was it?
It was just Ryan, I think.
Fair enough.
Right, so that's a slash roll 1d20 plus 4. And do they get like any minuses because they're still sort of still blinded? Are they still blinded? They should be
The
probably.
group that are probably shooting aren't blinded, just because they're
Ah,
not
right,
really.
I see.
They weren't at the front of the ship, and they're not the catapult
Alright.
operators. They're just
So
crossbowmen.
16, is that 16?
There's probably about 4 crossbowmen who.
Yeah, alright. So
begin to sort of-
here's a 16 reflex save.
Okay. So. A couple of bolts sort of arc through the air. Only 2 of the crossbowmen actually notice Ryan incoming.
Alright.
But one of them sort of spins his crossbow up and takes shot. And as Ryan drops his payload, catches him just across the wing.
Alright.
So roll a. What's the damage on a crossbow?
I think it's I've got a small one, so it would be different for a large person.
Well, it depends on the kind of crossbow.
It's probably a light crossbow, so that's a 1d6.
Does it? I've got 1d6, but I'm small.
Okie doke, so he takes 5 points of damage and like a glancing blow, but roll a. I think it's 1d6 plus 1d6 fire damage.
Light crossbows 1d8 GM, just heads up.
Oh, is it?
It's 1d6
Sure.
if you're small.
Sure.
I assume.
I see. I
1d8
thought that
if
was
you're
similar
medium.
masterwork. Right, okay.
Well, all the better then, I would say.
Okay, so he takes 3 points of damage and like a glancing blow. You
Alright.
can roll a 1d6 plus 1d6 of fire damage as well. For your attack.
Mhm.
So 2d6.
Yeah.
That was such shade egg, I love it.
Nice.
So it was an odd way of phrasing it.
Oof.
I know.
So, the previously blinded, sort of glitter-faced half-orcs now find their clothing catching a light. You hear screaming. One of the 4 operators actually falls overboard,
Nice.
trying to put out the flames. And
Nice.
just, you see him disappear from sight beneath the ship. And, yeah, altogether a quite effective attack.
Nice.
Ryan Gosling sort of swoops down and lands on your shoulder.
Nice. This is good.
You notice that telepathically you can hear quite a lot of swear words.
Like, yeah.
Okie
Alright.
doke, Broglen.
My name. Shoot another arrow at the other catapult.
Okie doke, so still on the ship of 2. Okie doke. Roll to hit. So you draw your bow, and the operator, or like the secondary operator who's busy sort of trying to tug the corpse of the previous operator out of the seat where he's actually been pinned in by an arrow, takes another across the shoulder in sort of a similar manner to his predecessor and buckles. So, yeah.
Alright.
Okie doke. David.
It's me. Has the ship got any closer? The other one. sorry.
It's probably catching up with you. It's
How many
probably
feet?
about 20 feet closer compared to
80
when
feet.
it was. Yeah, so it's still about
Huh.
80 feet away, but
How fortuitous! That is the range of my crossbow. I forgot I had
funny
that.
that. Guys.
Funny that.
Yes. I will let my lingering performance linger and take out my crossbow. Actually, would I have seen Briglan firing at ship 2?
Roll perception.
Okie dokie. Perception.
Where?
Oh dear.
You did not.
Dave forgot to see
Ooh.
nothing. He got distracted by a fish.
Fish.
Quinn gave him a wink and it was very distracting.
Yeah. That's
There's like a nice fish passing by, and instead of like focusing, Dave's like, ah.
Ooh, a fish!
I shall call
So you
you
said-
Duncan. Yes.
You see, I was very tempted to actually pick up a small aquarium globe in case we needed to get some fish for Dave.
Nice.
But I actually
Oh, that's a cute concept.
That is, you should have.
Yes,
Okay, so
Sigmund.
Dave's got no idea, so he's probably just gonna. Well, I assume is it ship number 1's on fire now, isn't it?
The front of it, Alchemist Fire doesn't actually damage wood, so there's
Well,
a
the
bit
people are
of
on
fire
fire.
just sort of clinging to it. And
as long as it stops them using like their
the catapult is fairly
artillery,
on fire.
that's fine. Yeah,
Alright,
that's
yeah.
if they cut. Like we're on like artillery denial. I think has got to be our first.
Yeah, basically.
Broglan absolutely called
Like-
that correctly. That was exactly the right thing to do.
Yeah. Like force
Same
them to
with-
come into closer range.
Yeah, so I can cast my cool spells. Okay, so I failed that perception check, but I've got no idea what anyone else is doing. That was just to decide which ship to aim at, but since I'd have to roll a 1d2 and go with that.
Okie doke, fair enough.
Okay, I'm firing at ship number 1. That's so who is around on ship number 1 at the moment?
Okie dokes, there's probably about 4 crossbow operators still in sight. There is the still burning catapult crew, and further back, probably out of range, you can see standard crewmen sort of running around. A eye-patched sort of gnomish gentleman at the wheel of the ship.
Okay, I will aim for one of the crossbow bastards. Give him a taste of their medicine.
Okie doke.
Or attempt
Roll to hit.
Actually, I'm going to use one of my fire bolts since I've
Yep,
never
sounds
used
good.
those. I've got absolutely no idea how they work, so we'll
So
figure that
that's
out later.
What, a level 1 spell, level 2 spell?
No, it's in. Oh god, don't let me say incendiary arrow.
Oh, I
my
see.
crossbow.
Okie doke. So I'm pretty sure that's a standard attack roll, and that
Yeah.
just has an additional effect.
Yeah, I'll roll the attack and then figure it out.
Fair enough.
No flanking, no power attacks, no additional hits.
Power attack with a crossbow. Wow, it's really OP. I feel like that should have been outlawed.
Nice.
Okie doke. So yeah, that probably hits just because these aren't really wearing a lot of armor. They're more just sort of blokes in sort of
Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaiian shirts. No, like, just like loose gear, quite sort of light, free-flowing stuff because it's easier to get around on a ship in.
Uh-huh. Alright.
Okie doke. How does your incendiary thing work?
I take a -1 penalty on attack rolls.
Okay.
I just found out, and I only do 1 more point of fire damage, so I'm not actually that fantastic. But whatever, I'll take it where I can get it.
Oh, okay.
It might set them on fire still as well, right? So
Well,
it's
no,
more
it
damage
says
plus
on a
potential-
critical hit, the target must succeed a DC 50 reflex save or catch on fire, which implies that they don't need to bother
Yeah.
anything less than a critical hit.
Okie doke. So you can roll damage then.
Okay, damage.
Alrighty then.
1d6 +1, so whatever comes up. +1. I hit the button, nothing's happening. Okay. 2, wonderful.
Nice.
I'm not good with this crossbow. I should
So
just give up.
You like catch him in the thigh, and he ducks down a bit, and you see him like visibly sort of clench up as he tugs the arrow out, and resumes sort of reloading his crossbow. Now with, oddly enough, less than immaculate form. Okay, Sigmund, what are you doing?
There's no one.
Wait, I
currently-
just realised.
Yes?
I would have been getting the benefits from my own lingering performance on that, so that damage would have actually been a 4. Sorry, just saying.
Wow,
That was creepy. What the hell?
That's
You
my
were right.
fucking flatmates. Sorry.
Roommates are the worst.
You
Reminds
were
me of
right.
my first year.
That
Mine
was
terrible.
that was really extreme.
Yeah, Jesus. Okay,
I do
so
that
that's
a lot.
is that a
Anyway,
4
sorry.
plus 1, or is that just a 4?
No, it was. So I got 1 from the roll, 1 from the extra arrow, and 2 from my Inspire Courage.
Okay.
Still going on.
So yeah, he crumples a little more visibly, and you see he has to work to tug the bolt out and sort of cast it aside, visibly sort of cursing. Okie doke. Sigmund, what are you up to?
So Sigmund is currently still keeping an eye on Tilda. He recognizes, like, he's doing defense, basically, making
Yeah.
sure that she can't get sniped. So he can't really move from where he is, but he can give out fatherly advice. And having just checked the feat, it says as a move action. And as we both know, as we all know, that you can downgrade a standard action to a move action as well. So as long as I don't move, I can give out 2 pieces of fatherly advice per turn.
Ah, jolly good.
So I will choose to give fatherly advice to both Dave and Broglan, and
You're going
I
to be
will-
shouting it up to Glam.
Yeah.
Is it going to be?
What's the range on fatherly
What's the
advice?
range? Well, actually, okay. Dave and Polly then. So
Fair enough. Polly is pretty much right next to you, still on the midships, having been thrown down here.
On his
yeah,
ass.
because he's got ranged attacks, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
Yes.
I will because I have to designate an ally, which I've done for each, and I have to designate an enemy. And Dave, I will designate one of the people. I'll designate the person he's just shot at, and I'll say, "Good shot, Dave. Good shot."
Old football manager tactics.
Yes.
Go on, my son.
Same again. Grab him when he pops his head around. He's going to pop back out to try and get him when he does that. And to Apollyon, I'll say, good away on the glitter dust. See if you can get that other. And I'll point to one of the other groups of artillery people, or the alchemist fire. Basically, one of the other groups there that he hasn't glitter dusted already, and point him towards them. And if they follow through on this fatherly advice, they will get a +2 bonus to their attack.
Okay, jolly good.
Nice.
So Sigmund on support duty, where Dave does the DPS. That's it's
sounds
quite a
good.
change, but it makes sense.
Are we in backwards world?
I
Yeah.
know.
I
What
long
is this, opposite day?
I long for my old
No.
days of tanking as the
Yeah.
sorcerer.
Olden days.
That was so
By the way, I
fun.
will say,
That was a horrifying time.
I am not the DM, but Tilda is technically my character. She will be like faintly miffed, slightly patronised, but she won't say anything. She'll just let you protect her.
Well, he's a tank. It's what he does, right? It's to get in the way of any. It's like, it's to stop her getting sniped, because that's exactly what we're trying to do to them.
Well, she is a barbarian, so she's probably used to tanking as well. But
Basically,
but she's also driving the ship.
she's just letting you get
waiting
on
to
with it.
pass over to. She's basically intending to pass over to Ricard, who is nearby, pretty much as soon as the enemy gets within fighting distance for her.
Yeah, like and just
admittedly, her range is not long.
yeah, leave it as 6. But it's the fact that she's driving rather than it being her.
I think driving is the right word, but
But
Yeah, so,
driving.
basically, like piloting the ship. So if Ricard
Boat
takes over,
piloting.
he'll,
Yep, nailed it.
Sig will be protecting Ricard instead. So it's the person that's driving the ship that he's protecting,
Okay, fair enough.
because that seems sensible.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okie doke. So it is Apollyon next, and you've been sort of you've been given some good old fatherly advice as well.
All right, that's good. That's good. The fatherly advice against who was that directed again?
Against a
It
different.
was
Sorry. Go on.
sorry.
The artillery
Who was
of
it? It
ship
was your
number 2,
character.
right?
Yeah, one of the ones you haven't already hit.
Yeah, I've hit the artillery of ship number 1 with glitter dust, so I might want to hit ship number 2 then.
Yep.
Alright,
So
then
do that. Also, this doesn't stack with Dave's competence. Dave's thing.
Alright, so
Dave's
this is
thing.
just a +2 that I get then.
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
2. Is Dave's usually plus 2?
Yeah, mine's +2 as well, so it's just +2.
Oh,
still.
in which case mine's done nothing.
Wow.
Good job, Sigmund. 10 out of 10.
Well,
Full account.
10 out of 10.
in that case, I am going to.
I did check this. It's very strange. It's a morale bonus against versions of charge and against charm and fear, but it's a competence bonus on attack and weapon.
Right,
so
so I can.
My Inspire Courage gives bonus to saving throws against Charm and Fear
How
as
far
well.
exactly are these ships away from us? Like they're not
Probably
in boarding distance,
60
are
to
they?
80.
Alright. I am going to first of all send Ryan with another bottle of Alchemist's Fire towards ship number 2. But before I do that, I'm going to cast Glitter Dust like I did with the other ship.
Okie doke. So, roll concentration.
I will. Here you go. That's a +2 I get on that, so that's 18.
I love the just I will. Okie doke. Sorry, I'm rolling some resistances. Okay, so 2 of them sort of managed to pour the glitter out of their eyes, blinking visibly, but they're able to mostly defend themselves. One of them is sort of pouring at his eyes, yelling and shouting, and actually crashes into the other, who goes backwards over the railing.
Nice. Alright, so now I'm going to send Ryan with the other bottle of Alchemist's Fire.
Okie doke. So roll a reflex save for Ryan. In fact, let me roll their perceptions first to see if they notice him.
Alright. Yeah, because he actually gets, so I roll stealth first then, because he gets a very
Oh yeah,
high...
that works.
Yeah, because... Wait, homunculus? Because I actually get on stealth a bonus of 12.
That's a big bonus.
It is a very big bonus. So
You get a bonus of 12 on stealth. Okie doke.
that's what the sheet says. I mean, I've always found that like these sheets always have like ridiculously high bonuses on skills and such, but
It's because it's a tiny creature. They get a very, very high bonus.
Wow.
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah,
That makes sense.
wow, didn't really help much.
It's best.
Right, so that's the stealth roll.
Okie doke. So, 2 of them draw or already have their crossbows drawn, but 2 of them raise their bows and begin to fire. One of them is too distracted by having just been shot through the leg, and
Wasn't that on
Another
ship
one.
number 1?
I don't remember. Was that one?
Yeah, I am attacking ship number 2.
Oh yeah, I fired on ship number 1, so
Ah,
no one's
and
And I'm
distracted
going
by-
I'm going for the catapult with the Alchemist's Fire.
Okie doke. Well,
Should roll a reflex
Yes.
save then?
yeah, roll a reflex save, sorry.
20.
Okie doke. So both of their shots go wide as Ryan opens his arms, dropping the flask of Alchemist's Fire down, which sort of spins in midair. Roll damage on that.
That's 2d6, right?
2d6, yep.
7.
Okie doke. So, yeah, it catches several of them right across the back, and you hear sort of bestial howls of like rage as they get caught in the flames, trying to pat themselves down, like visibly growling, and sort of trying to pan down. Some of them, 1 or 2 of them even like stop, drop, and try and roll in the like cramped space. There's a lot of like anguished yelling, basically.
Alright. It is actually
It is
9.
just 10 yet.
yeah,
9
yeah,
yet.
10, yeah.
or 10 for you, I
Well,
guess.
it's 10 for me
Okay.
and it's 9 for you. So.
Okay, so we can continue this next time then, if you guys would like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't intend for there to be more this session, but just it's been a bit busy. So, who do we think gets the golden dice for tonight?
I always say I don't like answering that question.
Fair enough. I quite like Sigmund's big old box of tricks, it's got to be said. Although I also
fishing.
thought...
Who got it last week?
I don't remember, I think it might have been Apollyon.
No, that's not the case because I don't seem to have any golden dice.
Did we
Yeah, I
decide
think
it?
it was
We
Glanvar
decided it
last
once
time,
you
actually.
left.
No, I was.
Yeah, I think we decided on Polly after Mon left. So.
Oh, right, alright. So
Yeah.
then.
Could have sworn we posted about it in the chat, but yeah, so the golden dice is yours.
Alright.
From last
We
week.
don't do back-to-back golden dice, so I would say in that case, since I can't vote for myself, probably.
I can vote for you.
Oh, all right.
Wow. Yeah,
Was easy.
okie doke then. Okie doke, so that is probably this week's PATHCO sorted. Good session, everyone. GG. GG.
Yeah.
Good game.
session.
Good sesh. Mammoth sesh. Yeah, sorry about the sort of time issues, but yeah, we'll have maybe have a bumper session next week. I don't know. We'll see how exams go.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
So maybe. Okie doke. So we'll see you next time in the world of PATHCO.
Yes.
Say goodbye,
Good.
everyone.
Goodbye,
Hi,
everyone, and
everyone.
hello to anyone watching us in the future, like Hellhounds or Ex-Sister.
Hi to the future.
Bye.
Future
Goodbye.
people
Bye.
are looking pretty goddamn fantastic.
Bye.
I'm totally gonna get the fly spell next level. End of stream.